Hello everyone, I am doing my presentation on AI-assisted UX design. So a bit about me, I'm a senior professional writing and ETB student. I focus mainly on communication design, whether that's through print visuals or web-based communications. I am passionate about ethical and inclusive design, and I've studied ethics when it comes to AI before in my professional writing degree, and I wanted to use this project as a way to kind of merge my interests together. So I'm going to look at two of my case studies. The first one's by IDEO. It's called Using Data Science to Design Human Connection. So what they did is created Meaty the Meatbot over there, who was a chatbot, and they basically created an algorithm to create him because they had a lot of new employees and they were having scheduling conflicts and they wanted a way to resolve them. So here's the team basically completing the process. So you see the girl is literally dressed up as Meaty, and then they have all of the users laid out here so they can get all of their data together, and then you can see how it all came together in this photo below. So my second case study was by Google or Google Pair, which is People and AI Research. The project was called the UX of AI, and it was basically about the development of the now discontinued Google Clips, which basically allows a user to kind of, in a way, their camera learns like what moments it needs to capture and what people are the most important to you. And they use Google Clips to understand how UX elevates AI. So here you can see kind of like the process of them creating these moments with different family members, and here in this diagram you can see kind of the learning curve it took, where it took different kind of attempts for the machine to learn like what family member or moment was important. So now I have a quick video by Pair by Google, which I think is important for people to learn kind of like the basics of what it means to merge UX with AI.
When ML systems start hitting the ground and affecting people on an everyday basis, many different aspects of their lives, it's really important to be thinking about these systems and designing these systems from a human-centered perspective. And so one of the main things we think about in Pair is the notion of boundary objects. A boundary object is information such as specimens, field notes, and maps, used in different ways by different communities. We believe that we need artifacts, we need points of contact for different communities to be able to have an informed and useful conversation around these systems we're building and deploying.
So I have the pleasure today to talk to you about how we can rethink government with data science and AI. You can imagine a future in which education is tailored to the needs of each child, or healthcare is fit to each patient.
But let's build some empathy for our users. So that's a spring balance. It's difficult. So we asked, could we build a virtual weighing machine?
There is an interaction that you can design for in order to help users build trust. I call that pattern a hood to look under. And the idea is that if users are ever subject to a decision or a classification from a machine learning system, they should be able to ask the question, why, and get a good answer.
When I kind of think about my smart home thing at home, it's all the centralized voice assistant. There's a device somewhere and you have to kind of go, living room, corner lamp, turn on, right? Right. Which is a terrible user experience. Because what would be the best user experience, right? It would be just to point at the light and go on.
So my thesis is that AI can actually be used to augment UX and aid in the design process, mainly in terms of iterations and coming up with quick visualizations. And Google said designing is for augmentation, not automation. So basically, AI is not going to replace humans, more as it's a combined effort. So tools and software, I looked at 2 free softwares that would be good for beginners to kind of get into AI. So I got Teachable Machine by Google, which you can see over here, and this tool that I'm going to call Wizard because I don't know how to pronounce it. Teachable Machine just basically lets you, as you can see here, input different images and sounds and poses, and you can basically create your own machine. Wizard is basically a good tool for UX designers because it allows you to literally just take sketches and put them in, and it will create a prototype or a wireframe, etc. So here you can kind of see like the software in action. It's labeled as a design tool for non-designers, but designers can use it as well. They say that it's good for UX designers too. And you can kind of see how you're able to like form your own wireframes in there. And what's cool is that they have templates in there if you're not a designer and you're not comfortable adding those aspects yourself. So this is just a quick screenshot I took of a prototype I made in Adobe XD for a nonprofit called blackgirlscode.com. It's really old. It could honestly be updated. And I just wanted to take a couple of pages from this prototype, or just one, and use it in the software. So basically what I'm going to do is compare the AI-powered design to my already human design. So here are two pages that I considered, but I ended up going with the one with the visual just because it's a little bit more complex. And here is just the initial setup. There's a free and a pro version, and they have a lot of templates if you want to use. It's really easy to follow and like start a new project. These are the two sketches that I put in. They're really rough, but I figured that would be for the better to see what it could do. There's one that has a little highlight here, which I actually ended up using this one instead of this one just to see how it will be implemented into the program. And here you can kind of see me creating a new blank project, which is all that I had to do, and then I put the photos on my phone, and then I sent them to my computer, and then I uploaded them in. And then it basically processes it. And then turns it into maybe a prototype. So as we can see, there's a lot that went wrong. Like the header is smushed. It did get the avatar. It did get the image. There is a guide online that tells you kind of the best way to draw some of these things, like how to put a header or how to put an image or what icons to use. So they didn't have social media ones, so I used these, but for a first attempt I was honestly somewhat impressed. So this is one that I somewhat edited. I didn't have time to edit it fully. What's cool about the program is that you're allowed to kind of create your own color scheme. So what the software doesn't know is that Black Girls Code branding color is like pink, which is why I had a lot of hot pink in mine. So it didn't pull from that, it pulled from the blue, but that's something that could definitely be edited later. So pros and somewhat of cons. The pros is really easy to use. If you have like a meeting and you need to give someone a quick visualization of an idea you have, I feel like this is a great program, and I feel like it showcases like the benefits of AI. Some cons, it doesn't get into the details. Like I said, it doesn't know that it's a non-profit organization, and it doesn't know that it's based off of like diversity and inclusion. It doesn't know branding colors. It doesn't know words. So those are all things that you have to put in. So if you're someone that doesn't want to take the time to do something like that, then this may not be for you. But for those that don't mind, you may not see that as a con, because I don't see it as a con. I don't mind having to go in and edit some stuff myself. So thank you.